They got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money. The pressure be calling. Left on my blessings. I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something. That's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression is all that I wanted. The phone and affection. I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money. The pressure be calling. Left on my blessings. I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something. That's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression is all that I wanted. The phone and affection. I summon and dub it. Why you be all on my line about nothing? Why won't you go get you $1 or something? Don't hang with it who line for nothing. I see that we different. You riding, I double. I don't do discussions on bragging about hundreds. Don't go to your places. I know that they sunken. Don't call me your brother. I barely could trust it. I talked to a shorty. She bagging the bucket. And I'ma need all of my dollars on corporate. So hand me the money. I divvy the pie. I'ma give all of my people a portion to build them a fortune. I'm flipping the ride. I can't be mixy when iffy the vibe. And 40 on 50 is really the time. Why are you all on my phone like you want me? Like you wasn't pushing the kid to the side. I run through the money. The pressure be calling. Left on my blessings. I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something. That's why I ain't calling.
I remember things 7 years ago.
Naquela época, tudo era menor.
Mais en chacun d'entre nous, la flamme brûlait déjà.
Über die Jahre sind wir zusammengewachsen.
Y hoy son millones los que nos apoyan.
皆さんの応援は我々の原動力です
Ve sevdiğimiz işi yapmamıza olanak sağlıyorsunuz.
และสิ่งเหล่านี้จะเป็นไปไม่ได้ถ้าหากเราไม่มีพวกคุณ
Devemos tudo isso a vocês
Därför vill vi säga
Gracias.
Obrigado ขอบคุณครับ
Danke.
ありがとう
Kiitos.
Merci.
From the bottom of our hearts, thank you.
Get ready for some hyped action because we're going to Oregon for the second map of this series, Northeption. Obviously, 1-0 start on Skyscraper. It was their map pick though, guys, so a chance at redemption for Reven.
Yeah, I think the biggest factor heading into this game is the one that we cannot see. The minds of Reven. How tilted are they after losing 7-1 to an APAC team? Yeah, only they will know the answer.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. To be fair, this is a map that obviously they beat Northeption on the other day. They should have some confidence that they can bounce back in this series. We saw some really good things from Reven against Sonics earlier today as well. We didn't see those things, though, in this match, did they? Seriously, Northeption had all the control, every facet of the game. They absolutely dominated. The only semblance of hope was maybe some Joe runouts, and even that got stopped.
Yeah, Northeption, attack. I wouldn't have thought that those two would go hand in hand on Skyscraper to kick off this series in such a dominant fashion. So we head over to Oregon now. Reven, can they bounce back and stay alive here at Copenhagen?
Yeah, do or die now for Reven. You lose this map, guess what? You're going home. I don't know where their home is, whether it's in LATAM or whether it's in the United Kingdom, but they're going back to where they came from. And obviously for Northeption, an opportunity to head to phase 2.
Look, some people may not understand the reference to that joke. So again, just to reiterate, perhaps for new viewers that are joining in and saying, what are these jokes about LATAM and the UK? Well, Reven, 3 of their players, the majority of their team is from the UK. However, they shipped off to LATAM. They earned their spot here at the major. So that's why there's sort of that running in joke at the moment.
Thank you. Thank you, guys, for explaining that one. And what I will explain is that this is a map that obviously Reven beat Northeption on. They have got to do well here. I'm expecting this to be far more competitive than what we had on Skyscraper, which was so one-sided. I don't know. We haven't had a 7-0 at the tournament. We actually have now done 2 7-1s in our games that we've cast thus far. Maybe we're the 7-1 curse. Well, I would imagine that will change here on Oregon. Ying banned out from Reven. They'll get rid of either Valkyrie or his army. Take your pick. It's one or the other. And I'm expecting then probably Valkyrie to get banned out by Northeption. Yes, I am a wizard.
The only variant could be, like the only variant could be a Warden.
A Warden.
Nah.
Oh, Mirror.
Okay.
Yeah, you got that one wrong. I got that one wrong. The Mirror gets banned out, and Northeption do change it up a little bit at the very least. Does mean Valkyrie, of course, is available for this particular game. Heading into Oregon, do or die, must win for Reven. Fist bumps go out, and they've got to find victory here. Otherwise, they go home.
Yeah, Reven need to lock in, get themselves back into the game. They kick things off on attack, so they'll want their synergy to be at an all-time high for this series. Basement we go. So Northeption ban out the Mirror, the site where she is most prevalent and most impactful for the most part, depending on how teams set up. So we'll see how Northeption look to play around that themselves.
Yeah, and a big change-up as well, because obviously we've got the data from the last game of Oregon. It was Nook and it was Capcan banned out by Northeption. So they've changed it up quite dramatically. They get rid of the Dokkaebi, they get rid of the mirror as well. And so it does actually give them, especially starting on the defense, the likes of Capcan, and Sharif will pick that immediately. EDD, something to be mindful of. Now, we didn't really get to see a whole lot of Northeption defense on Skyscraper. We got like 2 rounds and that was it. So coming over to Oregon, at the very least, defense first. This should be defender sided. It means for Reven, don't get too dismayed if they start a little bit slow here in the first half. I'm fully expecting this to be defender sided, for Northeption to do well to start with. I think a 4-2 half is probably something they would be aiming for.
It's weird, right? We're heading into the second map and neither side has really played their half, their starting side, attack or defense, all that much at all really in this game. So it's gonna be a little strange to see how they transition across over towards Oregon, but we're looking at players like Joe, looking at Runner to step up. But it's Shureep to get the first.
Yeah, and that's already a trend that was established quite firmly back on Skyscraper. Runner, though, gets a trade. Now, that's something that didn't happen a whole lot on Skyscraper. Those early kills weren't traded. Well, never mind. Nina, out of top freezer stairs, will then run back down, gets the kill, and back to site you go for Northeption. You've got the player advantage. You don't have to do anything else above. And even though they lost Sharif, he's still got his EDDs placed somewhere.
I love this from Northeption. They're playing aggressive. They're getting in the face of the attack.
Prone!
Oh, he goes
Nina!
prone! Why would you do that?
Disgusting. Why would you do that?
But you wouldn't expect it.
Well, that's why you would do it.
That's the name of the game, right?
Yeah.
They ban out the mirror. They know they can't bunker down on site. So what do? They get aggressive. And sure, they're probably limit testing a little bit, but it's the first round, and Reven haven't attacked all that much, and they did look a little bit shoddy there on the first map. So
do you think Joe's like saying to his team, why is this guy doing that?
Yes. And that's when you know you've won the mind games in Siege.
Oh, what a start, though, for Northeption. Again, though, defensively, especially on a site like Laundry Supply, these are the kind of sites, rounds that you're pretty much banking on as the defending team. It's going to be above. It's going to be the tertiary sites that Reven are going to need to find success on. Obviously, though, being the fact that it's a 4 versus 2 already, they haven't even really had a look in on this particular site. Some pressure now, Freezer and Laundry for the last 2 players of Draw and Sam. Unfortunately, though, they're going to take a miracle. They both basically need to get a kill at the same time to bring it back to a 2 versus 2, but Presence already known over towards Freezer. Gas Babe gets thrown in that direction, makes it very difficult for Draw. Sam just kind of trying to sneak in through Laundry here, see if he can make a push. Flash goes out. Now they know where he is as well. So the information on the last 2 players known to Northeption, and it's an easy one for Faber, and eventually you would imagine Draw will get struck down in Freezer.
Yeah, Sam, they're doing a really good job to clear angles and flash out Yuki's. But the support from Northeption, it's good. It was great at the start of the round, able to get a couple of swift trades on Reven, who looked dangerous. And then that transferred to the late round as well. So they, again, probably couldn't have asked for a much better start.
No. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, though, Laundry Supply, Oregon, as I said, you know, you're expecting to win these rounds.
Yep.
It's probably the fashion in which they won it, though. Again, aggression early, Sharif, okay, bedroom balcony gets the easy kill. And then, yeah, Nina from security gets the kill onto Runner. And then from that point, you've got the quick transfer back down Freezer stairs anyway, so... And then, yeah, the drop shot from Nina. An impeccable start from Northeption. More of the same from what we saw on Skyscraper coming over to Oregon, and that's not a good sign for Reven.
Well, it sounds like the song and dance is already coming out from Northeption, and their energy levels were explosive at the beginning of Skyscraper, and there was no real reason for that to be distinguished throughout the match. Reven didn't give them too many reasons to be upset on map number 1, so if they can somehow carry that momentum, that energy...
Look at the drones already.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's the bug. Yeah, never mind. Sorry. Well, 2 drones caught, but it is something to keep in mind. Still coming over to this map. Probably wasn't to the same levels as the Reven Sonics game, but still information was quite critical on Skyscraper. Over to Kid Storms, we go for the second round, though, and what I at least feel like the first opportunity for Reven here on Oregon on the attack to get around. And it's going to be a Nina run out.
Oh,
Doesn't find the player the repel. It's Rana who repels back up, says thank you very much. That's basically Northeption's best player gone, eliminated into Armory, and a bit of presence early for Reven. That is a perfect start here on Kids Dorms. Joe down below knows there's one inside of security as well. This might be another kill. Sharif has no idea that he's right outside the corridor, holding close.
The Banshee though.
Oh, if he peeks this.
He's waiting for the Banshee though to pop off to open up, so he knows that there is a player close. It's a standoff at the moment. Joe knows that the moment he walks in to that radius, he's going to be swung.
He'll open up the Banshee, and then that will give away the information. He needs basically for Sharif to go for the dry peek, and he might just do it. He'll see the drone, it'll bait him out, and that's a wonderful collaboration from Draw and Joe, the Rotero, to bait him out. 3 versus 5. Reven finally showing some success in this series.
Let's see how they go about closing it out though. So a 4-stack over towards bedroom. Runner on the solo repel through Kids into the B bomb site. Yuki's under a lot of pressure to deny this cross. So too will Faber, but he's probably going to be smacked down from the repel. Droned out. Runner still playing passive, but there's so much pressure on the board. Sayo-chan forced back, taken low. Yuki's still in pit. A single shot will take him down, flashed out Reven.
You got to win that.
Establishing dominance here in the second round. Sayo-chan though, double window. It's 3 in the round. Sam for the plant, but the coverage is good.
Yeah, and he peeked out there at the last second while still reloading, so not even able to really get a shot away. Yeah, very messy round from Northeption, but you've got to give all the credit, in my opinion, to Reven. I think Reven played that round superbly. They get the early kill, punishing the run out from Nina, right? So at least you're punishing that. If you got some shots flying in your direction, you quickly repel up. Well played from Runner. Adjusts, gets the kill over towards bottom of Big Tower, and then the play over towards security. That, for me, was the biggest win condition in the round. You screw that up, and somehow Joe dies in the corridor. I don't know if they win that round. Instead, gets the help from Draw with the Rotero. That then baits out Sharif, and it's an easy kill from Joe. From then, you've got the 2-player advantage to take on a site like Kids and Dorms, and in the end, they can just throw bodies on site, which is basically what they did. Yeah, Sayo-chan got a couple of kills, pads the stats a little bit, but was never going to get out of that position in the corner. And Reven on the board.
Round 3 then. Northeption will re-attempt up above. Perhaps going to shift their setup a little bit. I would anticipate that security may not have a hold this time around, especially based on what we're looking at now. Instead, they trade out that first presence. Big Tower, perhaps, the rotation for Attic. There are still reinforcements they've been placed down below, so there could be somewhat more of a presence. Nina for the spawn peak falls back. I think Reven did a good job clearing bedroom though in the likes last round. I don't envision them going hardcore for kitchen presence for vertical grenades. Joe's the only one with pockets, with grenades in pocket.
Yeah, it was pretty easy for Reven. They got the repel in through Armory from there. There wasn't really a whole lot of bedroom presence. And obviously you got that early kill onto Nina. He was kind of the lurker, if you will. Had he not died, maybe from Big Tower, he can rotate. And he can maybe make a play for a flank towards that Armory corridor late round. That just offers something a little bit different. But some good signs, at least from Reven in that round. And they're going to have to continue to play at that kind of level, that kind of quality. Northeption are not going to be a pushover. And I don't know if this is going to be a 7-3 scoreline like we saw last time these two teams played. Joe, same position, same area, but different dynamics this time around. Putting the pressure once again into security. Sharif. Oh, with a wonderful angle. Basically, Sharif actually baits him in there to go deep. Yep. Rather than taking the contact at the doorway, he falls back and he makes Joe believe that he's weak at the back of security. A little bit of over-aggression from Joe, and he gets caught into the trap of Northeption.
Yeah, you could argue a bit of an over-investment there from Northeption to be hard holding that position with 2 players, but they make it work. It's a good read, and that is something we praise them on in map number 1. They did a great read onto Reven, whether it be composition picks or whether it be positioning around the map.
And look at this presence as well. They are denying that bedroom push in. That presence inside a trophy, they've got a little bit more control over towards the Armory corridor. So suddenly the control that Reven got in the last round, they're just not able to get it this round.
So the shield still stands with a minute to go. Draw will be keen with those Rotero drones to probably clear it as soon as possible. Sharif still top
Oh,
of
get
Big
him,
Tower,
Sharif, he's got
spots
the
the player
timing.
kid's bedroom. Well, he allows Faber to die, but he got the trade.
1 for 1. What a nice little angle from Sharif. 4 versus 3, and Reven's round continues to unravel. Okay, yeah, you've kind of dealt with that trophy presence. Now you've got to still push into sight. You've still got to deal with Attic back of side as well. And I love this shield close by at the doorway. Makes it very difficult to push through. Nina got one, then he gets the down as well, and it's all over. In your face pressure from Northeption on the defense of Oregon.
And I think it's funny how much of a linchpin that fight down below has been on that site. We saw it last time. Reven win it out, they compound that into the rest of the site. This time though, Northeption counter it hardcore. They bait in the push, they shut that player down. Reven then playing at a disadvantage for the remainder of the round. Here is that kill, so 5v4. Reven try their best to clear out these positions. Unfortunately, Kids Repel can't also be leaned into because Big Tower was not cleared. And it's then a cleanup crew job for the rest of the team.
Yeah, and only 1 kill in the round there for Reven, so really one-sided affair. Not really that close, didn't quite get down to the last couple of seconds. You kind of want on Kid Storms, even if you lose the site as an attacking team, that you're really fighting tooth and nail, that you're forcing the defense to really kind of scramble on site, but it was all too clean, too easy. Kind of reminds you maybe of a Laundry Supply defensive round, and that's where we now go for the 4th round. What can Reven do here, though? They don't go for anything unconventional. They bring the Lion instead of the Thatcher.
5 seconds left.
And you got to sort of now kind of guess, how is Northeption going to play here defensively? I've got absolutely no idea. They can extend out over towards Small Tower. We've seen holds over here. Sam's actually got a drone close by to you, Kiers. They can play the Big Tower hold as well. You can kind of just lurk up above, in through Attic. And the goal for Northeption will be either delay time or find that kill, then rotate back to site. They don't over-invest. They don't get over-aggressive. One and done is the name of the game.
I think the most concerning thing at this checkpoint of the game for Reven is they've gone for the exact same band. So Ying Azami, yet they're not finding near as much success as they were in that previous matchup. They're really struggling to get themselves on the board in clear positions. You can see them frequently being stalled out. Northeption are playing into this though, making the entry difficult. Runner will come across to support, however, over towards this Big Tower position. An opportunity here if Sayo Chan over-aggresses.
And I like the top hold of Freezer Stairs as well, because you can get those drones rather than they can't quite get as deep. Vulcan Canister, you got an ADS as well. Don't have to peek out, and you can kind of swing that tight corridor corner with the shotgun. And it means that Reven kind of have to play a little bit more of the corridor rather than the top of the stairs. It's just not ideal. Joe's got some kind of position though over towards back stairs rather early in the round 2. Really direct. If he can put some good pressure onto Pillar, I tell you what, that'll be at least a good sign for Reven. So really nicely done from Joe to just kind of weasel his way into backstairs, gets the drone down there. And if he can clear out that Pillar, it gives them at least one foray of attack already. Then you can get the hatch drop down to E-Box, maybe a bit of pressure coming in as well from Laundry. So Reven are doing well to actually kind of maybe avoid some of these contact fights. And Joe does what he was expected to do over towards backstairs. Sadchan went for the re-aggress. Loses his life, Joe gets the kill and keeps that position vulnerable now for Northeption. Minute to go, Reven looking good here on this round of Laundry Supply.
Sharif though has been allowed backup Freezer, so despite the hatch being opened, he hasn't been cleared, but now he's on a bit of an island, can retreat back down below though. This position is safe from the hatch line of sight. 50 seconds, more information from Reven. Again, backstairs is vulnerable, but they'll want to surround site. Joe, hot Laundry, swings but shut down, so a 4v4 with 40 seconds on the clock.
And I like the live drone, but he's basically on top of it, so by the time you can get that comm out, there's not really too much time. No real delay. 4 versus 4 now, 30 seconds. Street. Oh, okay, Freebie on to draw. Just got so aggressive. There was no pressure at all coming from Freezer. All the attacking options were elsewhere, so that meant Sharif felt he could push out, and he certainly does. Sam will check right side Freezer doorway. That's going to be Sharif, knowing that he came from Freezer above. Fever loses his life in Laundry too, but trades go the way of Northeption. Once again, one towards elbow, but that's Nina that falls. Now in 1 versus 1, you can play time, you can hide. You know Runner's going to pick up that diffuser. He hasn't got the time, needs to find the kill, and that is it. Round once again goes the way of Northeption.
Really good work there from Northeption to claw all their way back into that round. credit goes to Sayo-chan up freezer stairs, finds that pick. He wasn't being pressured enough there by Reven, who were setting up their push elsewhere. And then when that push came through, Sam was the only one really that was able to get through that utility blue. He was on an island. He did a great job to get 2 picks, but then he was finally traded. But now we can take a breath. Attack pause. 3-1 the score.
Yeah, a timely one at that, to be honest, although it looks like it might be on one that maybe you wouldn't want if you're Northeption up 3-1, technically 4 rounds away from phase 2. That's really what's in sight. And it's kind of lonely faces at the moment now for the side of Reven. It was all smiles back on day 1 with their defeat of Northeption. 7-3, it was all comfortable. It was a rather seamless win on Oregon, but now they are struggling. Where can they find a semblance of success here? Technically, though, 1 more attacking round, I think would be still job done for them in this first half. So an opportunity still beckons. 2 rounds to go in the half, 2 opportunities. They've just got to stay locked in. They've got to stay focused on the task.
Yeah. Good teams don't allow difficult to attack objectives like Basement Oregon to tilt them too much. They'll have their eyes focused on other objectives and other opportunities to get themselves back into this game. 2 minimum attack Oregon. That equation sounds pretty good to me if you're Reven. Keeping in mind that this is the map where these 2 went toe-to-toe earlier on in the play-ins phase. 7-3 though was the scoreline. 2 Reven. They looked dominant. They had players like Runner popping off. They did a really, really good job. Draw as well. 2nd highest rated player in that particular matchup. Just hasn't quite linked together as much as they would have liked in this one. And Northeption, much like Skyscraper, continue to find these really small cracks in the armor for Reven and just completely blow out these opportunities and create these win conditions where otherwise Reven should be closing it out.
Yeah, one thing I've really liked as well with Northeption, they haven't gone overboard with some of their celebrations. I don't want to name names, but some of the APAC teams that have attended this event, like they get so excited over 1 round, like it's like they've just won the lottery. Whereas they do their apt celebration, a couple of fist bumps, and then lock back in and focus. And I think that's, for me, a visual difference between the way that they're really treating this, that they are super, super focused. And that's something that you're going to need, especially if you're going to get into phase 2 and then verse teams in phase 2. You need to be able to kind of treat this not as a holiday, not as sort of like we've won the prize of being able to qualify, but what can we actually do at this tournament? What can we learn from this tournament? And that's the thing. I feel like they've actually learned. It looks as if it's a new Northeption from what we saw from them back on day 1. But I will say this, Northeption is a team that do well in best of 3s. They don't do well in best of 1s, guys. We saw that over the course of this year, last year as well. All their success has actually come from a lot of these best of 3 series. Back in the APAC SI quals, they had their deep run. They knocked out teams, and they beat teams as well. I think they knocked out Scars 2-0 in a best of 3. So they are a different beast when it comes to these BO3s, and you're seeing that firsthand.
Well, it looks like we'll be getting back into the action shortly, provided there are no additional issues. That's nice for us and nice for you at home. To reiterate, Northeption 3-1 up, defending Oregon. This is map 2 of the best of 3. The winner will continue through to the 2nd phase of the Copenhagen Major. The 2nd team, or the team that loses out, well, they'll be packing their bags and going home tomorrow.
Yeah, and right now, Reven is kind of just facing down that doorway, the doorway that leads them to the airport. Unfortunately, they've got themselves a long way back into this series. You're down in this map. You're down a map already as well. 3-1 start, but 2 rounds to go. 2 absolutely pivotal rounds. This is where we kind of just lock in now and focus as well, because Reven have got to find success in these 2 rounds. If they don't, they are staring down defeat. Kitchen meeting, 5th round we go. Northeption looking to keep that scoreboard ticking over. Reven, they need success here on the tertiary.
Yeah, so over to meeting we go. Mute in play for Waldenal here on the defense. We're going to see that Malusi pick persist as well. And I think that's Northeption's idea of trying to stall out or prevent some of those lurk entries from the likes of Joan. We have seen those engagements. They've been a little bit awkward throughout this first half, but they have been impactful for both teams, where Reven have been able to perhaps bait out defenders to peek in to those lines of sight, or the opposite, where Northeption allow Reven into a false sense of security. Yuki's currently over towards Big Tower. Joe looking to enter from down below and get a bit of a foothold on this half of the map.
Oh.
New feed active.
Well,
Oh,
There's an opportunity here for Joe. If he holds this angle, although he's got to be careful of backstairs as well. Oh, beautiful headshot from Joe. It's been a bit of a mixed bag for him so far in this series. Obviously, some really good things defensively back on Skyscraper. He's definitely been a linchpin. Fever over towards Split. He holds tight, tucks in with the pistol. Got drawn into the engagement up close. Fortunately, Sam was able to get the trade, and he's going straight for the plant into meeting. Sam can get this down. Northeption, they don't know that this is happening. This is a big statement from Reven, but Nina with the headshot on the SMG-11 takes care of Joe. 3v3 retake. They got 40 seconds.
Sayo-chan over towards main stairs. Nina through Split, but he's low on HP. It is a 2v1 now, though. Wrath, Sam, they clean up, and Sam gets the second. Reven able to exploit that position, get the plant down, hold on in the post.
Well, if that doesn't get you going as a team, I don't know what will. That was a wonderful round from Reven. Well calculated, well attacked. They understood what they wanted to do, executed it nicely. Fever got caught over towards Split. Yeah, he got one tucked in. I don't think he was expecting, though, to give up that position and have no semblance of retake up close, and that allowed Sam to get that plant down straight away. It was a well-organized attack from Reven. They get their second attacking round here on Oregon. That's job done. Suddenly flips the pressure back over to Northeption. Well executed, and Sam was definitely one of the linchpins in that round for getting the round win for his team. 3-2. Reven definitely back into this map now. That's a huge attacking round win. And we go to Kids Dorms. Northeption need this fourth round.
And it probably goes without saying, looking at the scoreboard throughout this series, but that is certainly the most emotional we have seen Reven. They completely shut down in that first map, but they sense the importance of getting to attacking wins and opening up the opportunity for an even half. They played really well on that objective. They exploited the weaknesses that Northeption presented.
So the last time these two teams played, it was a 3-3 first half. Reven were on the attack. So if you're Northeption, you don't want to get yourself into that position again, because that's got to be mentally draining. Where it's like, okay, we're in this exact same position, and then Reven on the defense went and won 4 in a row. So they need to get to at least 4-2. We already know that Northeption, attacking-wise, it's not going to be as easy as Skyscraper. It's certainly not. It's going to be a much harder task. And they set up the same way for Kids Dorms. That shield into Trophy. Aggressive pressure from Joe. Wants to get bedroom control immediately. But he takes a couple of shots, and that will force him all the way back out of the map.
Yeah, so Joe now for the remainder of the round will need to be quite passive. He will want to try his best to get those 2 grenades out and have an impact. On the topic of grenades, draw with 2 in the pocket. Almost locked into the frost.
Tell you what. It was a last-second look too, wasn't it? It was sort of just this...
Well, it's so far away from the objective. Why would you expect it?
Yeah. Well played from Draw. Always expect the unexpected. Sharif top big tower, and he's getting pinched here. You got to say, certainly worried for his position. Although Draw does back away from pushing up backstairs, and I wonder if Sharif's position is actually known. They might not actually be aware of this. Sharif will hear the sound cues, though.
No, they know. But Reven also know they can't lean into that Kids rappel now, right? We saw it on one of their successful attacks previously, and then we saw it pose issues when they didn't clear big tower. So we'll see how they deal with it this time, and in fact, Sharif actually does fall. So overexposes himself. Good work from Wrath, and that unlocks things a little bit here for the attack. Nina still poses a threat over towards Garage. Yuki's as well in security, being flushed out by Draw, or at least attempting to flush him out. Sneaks his way up Freezer stairs, but Nina comes alongside to support, spots the knee.
He's tucked in.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. 4v4.
There's no way that Draw's ever getting out of that position once he kind of overcommitted. Nina's got him completely locked down. No one was close by to really go and help out either. 60 seconds left, 4 versus 4. Sayo-chan still just watching down below. Up close, though, here's a member of Reven. Wrath down, just down below. He's the one with the diffuser. Got to be careful to not leave that on the ground too late into this round. Joe, once again, with a very impactful kill in the round, does give Reven the numbers advantage. Going into the last 40 seconds, going into that rush onto site. They will have the numbers. It's so important. Sam through big window with the smoke, aiding his presence. And now the push as well for Wrath. He can get the plant down, and he's being watched by Sam.
Nina down, runner holding the cross. Yuki is now the last one standing. But it's good from Reven, and a great way to close out this half.
And they look amped up. They look a lot more happy now. Some smiles on the faces of Reven. 3-3 half. They get what they really wanted. That's a big win for them in this map. It is the exact scoreline that they had back on day one as well on Oregon, so deja vu has very much taken place. Northeption, though, in the first 3 rounds, guys, they really looked like they were going to run away with things. Reven, though, have pulled it back really solid. Last 2 rounds, they got exactly what they wanted. They were down 3-1, and Northeption were looking very good, but they responded perfectly.
We're playing. We're fucking shit, man. So fucking...
Have Northeption done enough, though, in this first half? The last matchup between these two would suggest probably not.
No.
Because Reven on defense were rock solid. Big asterisks on that, though.
Are they actually going to attempt a blitz rush here on Laundry Supply to start things off in this second half?
10 seconds to go.
Do you throw caution to the wind?
Well, it's a side that you're not really expected to win. And Northeption are a team that have obviously know they struggled last time to attack here. They didn't get a single attacking round on Oregon against Reven.
Well, they're going to go for it.
So it's that blue bunker rush. They'll go with the blitz. They'll try and overload Sam's position at elbow. And I'll tell you this now, it doesn't usually work, but they go for it. And Wrath already came back down backstairs, and they have just absolutely torn them to shred. Nina, the response, though, with the pistol on the blitz. He gets a couple. That's not too bad. Joe stays alive just barely. Prone. He goes prone. It works. Down the hallway comes Draw now through Laundry. He responds. He gets the kill. Now in a 1v2 for Feather, who stayed behind with the diffuser.
He's droning. He's got to drone it.
Well, he can get the revive as well to Sharif. Makes it a 2 versus 2. Go for the revive. Someone watch the drone. Oh, they're going to pressure him. They're going to swing. They're not going to allow the revive. They're not going to allow any of that nonsense to work here on Oregon. Perfect start for Reven. They shut down the blitz rush.
Yeah, not quite sure why Faber's on an island there. He should have been pushing in with the rest of the team. A decent effort there from Northeption, but a site like that, one that statistically you're more than likely going to lose out. You may as well get it over and done with quickly, and it was a solid effort. Saw the blitz go deep, cause a couple of issues. Joe under a lot of pressure and lost the fight to the prone.
Yeah, big play from Wrath, coming back down backstairs and was able to get a really good angle through blue and actually got a couple of kills there, which really decimated that attack, which then kind of, I think, was what forced Feather to actually stay out, and hence why he didn't quite get to push in with Nina. Just broke up that attack kind of halfway through, so half went, half didn't. We saw obviously Sharif on the floor. He got caught in amongst it. So Reven take the lead, 4-3. That's 3 rounds in a row now off the back of, I think it was the tactical timeout when we had the 3-1 lead for Northeption. Now leading is Reven, and they go to kids' dorms. So 3 rounds away from sending this one to a third map to Chalet.
So Northeption going very traditional then for round 8 up above. They bring the Thatcher Thermite combo, likely to open up Games Wall. Also a bit of versatility available if they want to go through Attic in towards Pit as well. Nina's probably going to be the one to watch, and he has been a player to watch throughout stage 1, one of the standout players in the Japan League, and that's a good start here. Joe, once again, very, very, very aggressive. But Northeption shut it down.
Yeah, and sometimes it works, though. We saw it back on Skyscraper, but it hasn't really been working that much since the first couple of rounds of that first half of Skyscraper. So well, even Wrath goes for it, too. Double checks on the repel. No one's left there. 5 versus 4. Northeption get away with one. And Nina up to double digits. The only player on Northeption, the only player in the game at the moment that's got double digits. He's been an absolute standout in this series.
Ooh. Thought Nina spotted something there, but just retreating from that position. His draw will barricade off freeze the stairs and lurk back up white stairs. Yuki's in the meanwhile, control over towards master bedroom. Establishing control now through Trophy on Northeption, and they have the man advantage, so they're in a good spot. Lines of sight through to Pit. A contentious issue. Reven electing to bring it out here for this setup, though.
Yeah, huge pressure on Northeption, though. Because the fact that they only got a 3-3 half, they need to win a lot of these sites of kids' dorms, kitchen meeting. If you kind of just throw Laundry Supply out the window, you've got to be winning these rounds. You've got a 5 versus 4 lead, opening up games now. Good position outside of the balcony as well. So, I mean, these are the kind of rounds where if you lose this, you're probably throwing the map. So, that's a lot riding on around in the 8th round at a 3-4 scoreline, but there's a lot riding on it. That's a wonderful Gemini. So good information gained over towards Pit. Just over a minute remaining. Rato holds strong, really, really good position. Does have to be a little bit wary now of that game's wall being opened up, but nevertheless, 60 seconds left. Draw. Ooh. Is he, though, the win condition here for Reven? The flank late in the round. That's a wonderful nuke here, but it's Sharif that's caught in the frost mat.
I was going to say nades available, but Sharif now down. Runner under a lot of pressure. Draw will have to make his way up top white as well as Favor rotates Diffuser through big tower, opening up the wall late. 40 seconds on the clock, and that is going to favor Reven, but it is a 2v4. Northeption can overwhelm.
4 versus 2, yes, but that diffuser, if we see Favor die over towards Attic, I don't know if it's going to get retrieved, and it's not going to happen now, though. That's a big kill from Sayochan. Sam in a 1v4. Reven's defense has been picked apart. They probably needed a little bit more from Draw on the flank. 12 seconds. Sam's got no idea where they are. Nina's also gone into a frostmat, has he? Oh, no way. How has that happened again? Doesn't matter. Double frostmats in the round. Does not dismay Northeption. They get the round anyway. They tie things up 4-4 and a shake of the head from Guz.
I mean, how else am I meant to react? 2 out of 3 frostmats. Good clear though, over towards Pit. So that grenade from Yuki is really unlocking that half of the map. And you mentioned Draw, probably needed to try and find something, but to be fair, nothing really presented itself. By the time he had rotated to where he was, the likes of Nina, they were long gone. And I think that was his plan, right? Try and catch Nina off guard. Maybe he tries to go up white late round. But they all stacked the same side of the map, overwhelmed site. They played it well.
Oh, okay, repeat straight away. No kitchen, no meeting from Reven. Straight back to kids' dorms. 4-4 scoreline. With a spot in phase 2 on the line. Elimination facing Reven here. If they don't find success on Oregon, they repeat. They go back. They'll change things up a little bit. I want to see a little bit more into the roam game from Reven. Especially depending on how Northeption are going to attack. If they're going to go for that game's wall, they're going to push through trophy, bedroom. You can push up Armory corridor late, you can hold those kind of positions. Obviously, you can even, if there's going to be some kind of an attic push, you can go for that up backstairs. We didn't really see pressure from Northeption towards top white or big window. So it's not like it was the most... It wasn't the most amazing attack, to be fair. It was actually quite one-dimensional, but they just got some really good shots. And Reven didn't really do much defensively.
Well, into round 9 we go then. It's a repeat as mentioned, but Northeption with a different approach. Control over towards small tower. Sharif to lead the charge with soft breach. Will Reven look to contest this? Doesn't look like they have anyone hard holding kitchen or security. That may leave them vulnerable to grenades from down below, but Joe manages to find 2 of said grenades. Sharif caught off guard.
Yeah, no one watching bot white, and that's just a freebie for Joe. I got huge respect though for Joe in this series. You know, you're 7 and 8, but all of your kills are when you're trying to get these opening kills. So the impact can last the majority of the round, rather than maybe stat padding late by holding sort of deep angles. This is creepy though from Nina. Just creeps on through bedroom. Runner had no idea.
Creepy. Well, would have been scary for Runner.
Gathering intel.
Just gets blasted at the Blast R6 Major.
Oh, jeez.
90 seconds on the clock then. Draw, I think he's going to be looking to have an impact once again here, lurking around. May look to go down through lobby, but Nina close by, 12 and 6, but he's on a drone. Draw senses it. He hears it, but he misses the shot. Nina survives, and he misses the second spray as well. Goes pro, Nina! He gets him with the pistol. That is unbelievable.
And it's exactly what I wanted Draw to do as well. That push down main stairs, well, that position as well towards main. Just a drop shot from Nina keeps him alive, and then swings back with the pistol. 13 and 6. So, you know, kind of Draw does what you probably want him to do, but the execution's just a little bit off, and Nina will punish him. 4 versus 3 now, and up in flames is Dorms, and maybe up in flames is the chance for Reven to go to phase 2. To be the first non-APAC team eliminated from the major.
By an APAC team.
By an APAC team? Even, yeah. Well done, guys. That's good. And Joe loses his life. This round's over. You can't lose that many players off-site for kids' dorms. That's at least nice from Sam. In through games, gets the kill onto Yuki's top wide. Now he might just get a second. Had the yellow ping, had the information of the push through attic. Vulcan canister blowing up as well. Nina loses his life. They've brought it back. Wrath with a double. There's not a whole lot of time for Sayan-Chan to find these kills. He spots the diffuser, but it won't matter. No time, no chance. Reven pull it back. They pull a rabbit out of the hat to save the round. Wow.
Bit of a magic trick, that one there from Reven. I think even they are a little bit surprised they were able to hold on that occasion. Northeption, a little bit messy there in the late round. They had so much pressure onto Reven, but they just fed one by one.
They thought they'd won.
I think they did.
It was up 4-2, Kid Storms, late round. And a double from Wrath and a big kill as well from Sam to get that kill top wide. I mean, this, though, I felt like was the moment that Reven's time at the major was almost up. Nina winning that fight, then you get the kill, the spray from below. It's up 4 versus 2 with 30 seconds to go. There's a TMR from Wrath to find that double kill, to not fall.
Nice.
Yeah, let's go indeed.
Let's fucking go. Let's go.
I don't know, where's he going? Is he going to phase 2 or is he going home? We're not sure, we'll find out soon. Timeout almost up for Northeption. Down around Reven. 2 rounds away from sending us to Chalet. That's maybe where we might be going.
And I think the conclusion there, that little replay we saw, it shows the importance of the final push having to be in sync. You miss the trade by half a second, you get punished. Wrath is not going to miss those shots. He's zoned in, he's ready to go. Northeption not timing that push, rightly punished. Down below we go then for Reven. And Basement. Oh, can we pencil it in as a defensive round win? Probably. In which case, it'll be 2 match points.
To be fair, with this kind of round now, Northeption are not just going to throw it away. And that's why I don't like that blitz push through elbow. It just never works. Maybe 2 out of 10 times it might work. But it just doesn't really work that often. I love the Vulcan canister there on the barricade towards blue.
Just in case.
Just in case. But I just prefer if Northeption play the Nook, play into their roam game, because you know Reven's going to have presence above. Try and find that kill, or 2 potentially, and have a 5-on-4 advantage going in towards site. Overwhelm site, even if you're dropping hatch, a couple of flashes, get a bit of backstairs control, overwhelm pillar, and you can win the site rather comfortably. So you don't have to go for these gimmick rounds. And Yuki's is obviously going to deal with this Vulcan canister. Early blue pressure, never mind. Well, that gets shot out. And it's a very deep shield here from Sam. If you place it too forward, kind of towards the blue mat, makes it a little bit easier for that Rotero to get close to deal with that shield. Hold it back, hold a good angle. That Rotero is just never going to deal with it. So I think I pretty much just give up on that position if I'm Northeption.
Old Joe doing Joe things once again in the opening minute of this round. So Runner's holding the camera for him to blow the nitro.
Well, he hasn't thrown it yet. So not even pre-placed. Doesn't have enough information. Nina will actually just lurk white stairs.
Went the complete opposite way.
Yeah.
Still like the idea though. And I don't mind this from Nina. He'll post up and he'll sit and he'll wait for other players on his team to pressure defenders, maybe back up above, maybe back towards site, maybe draw, wants to have a peek over towards Z. Nina's there to catch them off guard.
Yeah, and he wants to make sure security's clear, top freezer stairs can also be dealt with, so Nina's the one to watch. He's the top fragger. He'll throw out the drone, and he'll obviously drone out draw top freezer. He'll get rid of security first. That's actually quite big. Had he gone freezer stairs first, lost that drone, he wouldn't have known security's free. Now, it wasn't a full clear. I don't think he got the back of security, but obviously knows one's holding freezer stairs. Gave a good look into security, and that Rotero just makes the shield. So that's going to clear out this blue elbow position. Minute 12 on the clock. Northeption have done the checklist game pretty well in this round, but no kills found.
Hatch drop may be a potential condition here, but Wrath needs to be put under more pressure. He's just holding pillar, and so is Joe.
Glasses on, active as well. Nitrocell towards E-Box, doesn't find the mark. The push down backstairs as well from Sharif. Gets the kill onto Wrath. They've got the drop, they've got blue as well. Good push from Nina, eventually through Freezer. Got one, but traded by Joe. Still good on-site presence established for Reven in the 3 versus 3. This is such a crucial round now. Such an opportunity. Might just go begging for Northeption. It's Sam again. in the clutch finds the kill, as he did in the round prior on Kid Storm. Final gas babe goes out from Sam. Kiz in favor in a 2 versus 3. Just a tiny bit of time. Not many opportunities though. Once those flames extinguish, they've got to push forward.
Kiz does exactly that. Faber does find one. So with 15 seconds to go, they need to exchange positions to get the plant down, but Sam still lurking in blue. 10 seconds prone. Kiz will be forced to try and get the kill, and he does, but Runner can play time. He falls back, sits behind the box, and Kiz can try as he might, but he won't find that kill.
Match point.
Yeah, match point.
Match point, however you want to say it. It's Reven that have got major hope, major lifeline point.
Look, I thought you guys were still holding my drop.
A little bit of confusion amongst the team.
Well, look, I think Northeption were a bit more lost and confused in that round. They pressured Freezer. I don't know why they didn't commit to having some Freezer presence. Instead, everyone just stacked the hatch and then maybe a bit of blue presence, and Sam did a great job locking that down. It was just a bit all over the place.
I mean, to be fair, you had blue, you had backstairs, and you had the drop in towards
push through.
Yeah,
okay.
and he had to push through Freezer. So you had backstairs Freezer, blue E-box with the drop. I mean, the only thing they didn't have was laundry. So they actually had a whole lot of that site opened up, and the pushes coming in through from many different angles. But it was Sam. Sam got 3 kills on site, constant repositioning, and he got all 3 of those kills from 3 different positions of entry points. So I thought Sam was definitely a standout, and he's got now 10 kills. Deservedly so. And that gives match point over to Reven. But Laundry Supply now locked away. They need to win Kitchen Meeting and Kid Storms if required. They go to Kitchen Meeting first. 2 match points. Chalet on the other side of this. The decided map with this best of 3. Winner moves to phase 2. Loser goes home.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Expectation probably on Northeption to show a little bit more on this particular objective. Maybe even get it across the line. A 5-6 scoreline. That would be tasty. A runner, common spawn peak, goes prone to try and see the footholds, but he gets pre-fired in response, so falls back. Good presence of mind from Nina, who's been doing well. 14 kills so far in this game.
On the flip though, Sharif struggling.
Yeah.
Definitely been noticeable. I mean, struggling in terms of KDA. I mean, there's other things you can obviously be doing that is still aiding the team. Someone's getting blown up, although one was missed by draw. But Sharif is a fragger, first and foremost, and we saw that back on Skyscraper. 11 kills tied with Nina. Only 4 now. Nina up to 14. Just needs his Robin to join his Batman. Wrath on site, inside a kitchen, and a lot of that focus now coming from small tower side.
So they have control over towards small tower, but now it's about transitioning that in towards kitchen. Now it's about dealing with the player up above on the hatch. That's why Nina's split. Just holding trophy. That's Joe close by, who's been doing a good job in this game, and he just absolutely deletes him with the Ferrari peak.
No way, Joe, that's a wonderful shot. 5 versus 4, and with 90 seconds remaining, Reven are on the brink of sending this one to the 3rd map. They got rid of the star man of Northeption. They've got the player advantage. Northeption are firmly on the ropes here out of Oregon.
So minute 10 then for Northeption to keep this map alive. Wrath holding down kitchen. The rotation now coming through from Northeption. Diffuser in the hands of Faber. He'll drop down. Sharif will still continue to post up over towards small tower. He might be the linchpin in opening things up. Faber very late getting games wall open, so they want presence, they want pressure up above. Draw tasked with holding this position to try and deny hatch control from the attack.
Not a lot of time remaining. Down a player. Down 2 match points. Northeption, pressure firmly on them now. Drone in towards site, not that bad. Still a couple of drones that are active for Northeption to get some late round information. Draw though, pulls the trigger, and Sayachan falls immediately as the entire team of Northeption are. Sharif finally gets a big kill, an impact one. Can he find a second though towards Kids? It's not gonna happen. This round is not gonna happen for Northeption. We're going to a 3rd map. Get your jackets on, we're heading to Chalet.
Well, that's how you respond in a best of 3. Great work there from Reven with the 7-4 dub. They made Northeption look a little bit weak there, specifically on attack, and that was our concern. We cast our minds back from the last time these two played in that best of one, and in fact, it has played out in a very, very similar fashion. Northeption brought out some different operator bands. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite enough to get even really a competitive result. I think 7-4 at the end of the day. Pretty confident there from Reven.
Yeah, it was that 3-3 first half. I think that really sealed things, too similar to what these two teams played on that day one matchup of Oregon. That, of course, ended up as a 7-3. Northeption, once again, struggling to attack on Oregon. The way that they attacked on Skyscraper, vastly different to obviously what we saw there on Oregon. So very map-specific, I guess, for them. We'll obviously have to see how Chalet is going to beckon, but it has to improve attacking-wise, especially on a map like Chalet, which is, you would imagine, going to be probably Joe's sanctuary of runouts and spawn peaks and kills. So something to keep in mind as Reven send us to a third map.
Yeah, they did a really good job throughout that entire piece, and we had some of those key players that were sort of a little bit quieter on map number one really step up. Northeption were relatively competitive, but as the match wore on, I think Reven got a good read as to sort of what their approach was in this particular game. They were able to just bring enough across the line to make Northeption feel uncomfortable, especially again in that second half. Reven sort of grit their teeth. They understood the context of this game and how Oregon should typically play out on attack. They did just enough to put themselves in the picture to close out the map, and then it was about being cool, calm, and collected on those default sites, especially on defense.
There was a couple of rounds in the first half where Northeption, I felt, were firmly in control in some of these rounds. Round 3, round 4, especially. I thought that obviously got them to a good position. They went up 3-1. Then this crazy round happens here. This was a turning point. Sam was able to get that push in through garage. They get the wall opened up towards meeting. They get the plant down all within about 30-40 seconds. Then they got that kill, of course, onto split. And from then, Reven barely did a whole lot wrong. Thought that they just really got a lot of control back in the series. They didn't really do much on Skyscraper, but Oregon felt more like their stomping grounds, and they pretty much did not allow Northeption to do a whole lot.
Yeah, Northeption pushed the boundaries quite a bit on attack where they could. Again, there was that blitz rush down on basement, and unfortunately, that was probably not the best context in which to try that out. And then they got steamrolled from that point onwards. Reven had their blemishes here or there, but they were good enough overall to get that one across the line, locking down key positions. And Northeption a little bit disconnected, particularly in the late round. That is where they really, really struggled, and Reven shining on their map pick.
And this round as well, the 10th round was really, really big from Sam. Got a 3K hold on site. That was the round that, again, was another 50-50 kind of round. I actually kind of feel like the scoreboard probably doesn't do full justice to how things played out on Oregon. To me, it was maybe closer to like a 7-5. I thought there was some really good 50-50 rounds, but most of them going the way, obviously, of Reven. They do deserve the win. They get to go to Chalet, and we get the standstill finish. We get the 3-mapper as we head to that one. Obviously, it's a big one. Whoever wins moves forward to phase 2, guys, and whoever loses, they'll be packing their bags and they'll be going home. We'll go to a break. When we come back, though, of course, Chalet on the other side.
Last man alive is Necrox as MVK is on the floor. It's looking. Oh my God! They did it! They've done it! A double APAC semis.
I remember I looked like this to Cancel and Book. I'm like, what is going on? And it's just one of those like, this should not be happening, especially not against such a strong team as EG, and it did.
Fnatic demolish EG with a 2-0. Dizzle takes it.
There's rare coaches that have been able to achieve what he has. That's immensely unusual.
It is Evil Geniuses against Fnatic, a match that any esport would want to have.
Yeah, two big organizations with a ton of history in esports behind them, but one has a bit of a Himalayan mountain, a Herculean task ahead of them.
The night before we were supposed to fly out to Brazil, I get a bit of a stomachache. I try and, take pain medication or something. Nothing works. They run a couple tests on me, and I finally get the news that I have appendicitis and I need to get surgery right away.
He was not able to fly to Rio de Janeiro for the Pro League Finals at the time. This is your in-game leader. It's your captain. It's a big, big problem.
The unofficial ruling was to be that we could find a substitute as long as they weren't contracted to an organization and hadn't competed in any of the Pro League circuits around the globe. Yeah, basically we had to make the call, and it's like, look, there's nobody else. I guess I'm just going to have to play.
Normally when a coach has to become a player, we're always thinking that's going to go terribly wrong. And to make things worse, Dizzle came from Xbox or console, so he didn't play with mouse and keyboard before.
It is interesting, though, when you have the coach playing, because he's potentially coaching in real time, especially as they've lost their IGL.
It had been almost 2 years since I played competitively, but that having been said, like, I generally always had a competitive spirit and I have nerves of steel.
And Dizzle will clutch it! Fnatic to take the third round!
Dizzle, in that event, was called Diz God from that moment on.
Round 4 for Fnatic, and APAC 2 rounds away!
I knew he was a good player on Xbox, but I mean, I knew he knew how to play the game. I just didn't know if he was like mechanically up there, and obviously he was apparently.
We knew, like, if we're going to win, it has to be on Oregon. And the call came out and just said, guys, we need to get out there, need to give them pressure. Like, just don't let them get comfortable, don't let them execute.
I'll never forget Aces bringing FO12 Ella and jumping out the window on Oregon from Armory, and then, you know, getting 3 kills and finishing up the game practically for his team.
Last man alive is Necrox. It's looking, oh my God, they did it! They've done it! They've done it! Fnatic demolish EG with a 2-0.
Look at that, they can't believe it. We can't believe it. The crowd can't believe it. And they just got destroyed by APAC.
It definitely sucked not being there, but I just thought it was great that the guys won without me and they won with Diz.
I just couldn't believe it. Like, the crowd went up, and I'm just sort of sitting there going, like, is this real? And then to have like all the thousands and thousands of Brazilian fans like chanting and stuff. We've never had so much support before. It was absolutely incredible.
It is time to head to the ice. This series has certainly been also very nice. That's nice little poetry